All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, as you can see on the screen here, we're going to be exploring some red-black Koby action. That's right, some Navy sword action lined up for today's video. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. I think I got 6 games to go over on the sim. We're going to do things like normal here whenever we do a deck review. We're going to check out the deck list first, hop into the sim to do some games. Like I said, I think I have 6 games. We'll talk about that in a minute, and then we'll finish up by going over the deck list one more time, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it moving forward. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comments section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, the VV Theory, at the checkout for an extra 5% off. All right, so let's go ahead and break down this list, guys. First up, we're going to talk about the leader, and then we're going to go through the cards. Then we'll break down the deck list and kind of see what's going on. So Koby is a 5,000 power, 4-life leader, red-black for the color pool, Navy and sword type. Your sword type characters can attack characters the turn they are played. Now, real quick, for any of the newer players out there, do understand what that means. You cannot attack into active characters unless another effect allows you to do that. Okay, and we do have some effects in the deck that can do that, but I just want to make sure everyone understands what that means. But then there's another effect that says once per turn, when one of your Navy-type characters with an original power of 7,000 or less is removed from play by your opponent's effects, instead you may place 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. I think I have the official translation on the screen for you guys to read, and I'm reading from the sim. And with replacement effects, the instead should usually be at the very end of the sentence. Let me look over at y'all's. Yeah, it's at the very end of the sentence on the official translation. So, you know, that's just, it happens, guys, with the sim. It still works properly in the game, but sometimes the translations are worded a little bit off. It happens. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and break down the deck list. I'm going to go through all the cards first, then we're going to break them down. We'll kind of talk about what the cards do, especially some of these newer sword cards. But we're running 4 Peacock. Pause and read these if you don't know what they do, guys. I'm going to go over each individual card like this. Pause and read them if you don't know what they do. And I'm also going to link in the comment section below my original video that I did on Red-Black Koby, because I chose a very different route in that video to go. I chose a much more just Navy focus instead of the sword focus that comes out with Koby and OP11. Okay, so we're running 4 Peacock, 4 Doll, 4 Hibari, 4 Prince Gruss, 2 Borsalino, 4 X-Drake, 3 of the promo Koby, 2 Sengoku, 2 Virgo, 4 Brand New, 4 Aramaki, 4 Kuzan, 4 Helmeppo, 3 Koby, and then 2 Heavenly Impact, Honesty Impact. I've butchered the name of this card so many times. Y'all bear with me. Okay, so let me break down what the sword characters do, and then we'll kind of talk about what the deck's trying to do as a whole, right? So Peacock is just a new searcher, but it also has an activate main to trash this character to give one of your other characters plus 1,000 power for the turn. Okay, and it does give up to one of your characters plus 1,000. It could be Navy or whatever, but it does not give it to the leader characters only. And other than that, it is just a 1-cost top 5 searcher for Navy. Next up is Doll. Doll is a Navy blocker, 4-cost, 1,000 power, 1k counter blocker with an on-play to trash a card, and if your leader's Navy, you can give a character minus 6,000 power for the turn. This card is actually very, very good for what we're trying to do. I'm a big fan of this card, especially with the whole sword aspect, where we can attack into characters on the turn that we, on the turn we play them with our leader effect. We can drop down their power by minus 6,000 is a massive power debuff. It really helps us battle for the board. And it's a blocker after that as well. Hibari is a 5-cost 6k on play. Give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power during this turn. And it has a when attacking, this character gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Or excuse me, I just read that. Oh, no, I did. I'm sorry. Reading the different things to say power on this turn confused me. It has a when attacking, this character gains plus 1,000 power during this turn. Then if your leader has the Navy type, up to one of your leaders may attack active characters during this turn. Okay, so really good stuff there. Because remember, this is a sword character. If your opponent has a character that's sideways, we get to play out Hibari, minus 2,000 power to a character, attack in with Hibari, buff this character by 1,000, and then make it where our leader can attack into active characters. So this card is very good for what we're trying to do with our leader, Koby. Next up is Prince Gruss. He's just a Navy sword type character that has, he's a 2k counter mainly, but he has, when attacking, all of your opponent's characters with a power of 2,000 or less cannot activate blocker for the rest of the turn. It's not a great card, but it's a 2k counter, right? It's a searchable Navy 2k counter, and it does have the ability to, you know, potentially attack into characters on the turn it's played with something like Koby. So think of it like this. If you have to go for lethal and your opponent has a character that's rested on the board and then like a really small, like, you know, 2,000 or lower blocker, you can attack into something, like play this card out for 1, attack into one of their characters that's rested because it's a sword character, and now when attacking, all of your opponent's characters with a power of 2,000 or less cannot activate blocker for the rest of the turn. So he allows you to attack past the little tiny blockers, you know, other blockers that are small like this, like a doll. So it does have some utility, but it's not really, I don't think it came up even a single time in my playtesting. Now, Borsalino here is one of my favorite new cards from OP11. I actually think this is just a good card for anything that has to do with like red and navy, mainly just red navy. It's a 3-cost, 3,000 power, 1k counter blocker. Those stats are already okay, but then it has an activate main, rest this character, up to one of your navy type leader or characters can attack active characters during this turn. Okay, so again, remember what we were talking about. You typically can't attack into active characters, period, no matter what, right? You know, with no matter what deck or whatever color you're playing. But this deck with some of the sword effects are allowing you to do that. Hibari allows your, when attacking your with Hibari, you can make it where your leader can attack active characters. And then with Borsalino, you can make it where your leaders or characters can attack, a leader or a character can attack active characters as long as they're a Navy type. And there's one other effect we're going to look at. Actually, there's 2 other effects we're going to look at as well with Kuzan and Aramaki when we get to those that allow you to attack active as well. So Borsalino, nice quality blocker. I don't think you necessarily want 3 or 4 of these. I think 2 is just a good solid number. You can search it up with either of your searchers. We're running Peacock or Brand New, so you can search this card up if needed, but otherwise it's just a nice utility piece. Next up is X-Drake. This is just a vanilla 2k counter. It's a 6-cost 7k 2k counter with Navy, Sword, and Drake Pirates type. Really good stuff here. Now this promo Koby, I have no idea whenever we're going to get a hold of this in the West, when, you know, whenever OP11's all ready to go, and it basically is, right? I think Friday, at the time of recording this, it will be officially released. I have no idea when we're going to get access to Koby. So, sorry guys, sorry to get your hopes up. But in the meantime, what you can do is, you know, remove all 3 of these from the deck, maybe go up 2 more Sengokus, and maybe up a Virgo, or a Borsalino, or a Koby, or an Honesty Impact. You can kind of just do what you want to from there. But I would try to at least get a few counters in there. Like, so maybe go +1 Sengoku, +1 Koby of the secret Koby, and then +1 of the Borsalino for the time being. But this card's pretty cool. Notice what it does. It's a 7-cost 7k with a 1k counter, Navy and Sword searchable. On your opponent's turn, this character gains minus 3,000 power. Okay, so he's a 4k on your opponent's turn, but check out this when attacking. If your leader has the Navy type, your leader's original power becomes 7,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you become a 7,000 power leader. Really good stuff. Running 2 of the Sengokus, I featured this in GARP. I've been featuring this card quite a bit lately. If you run anything that's Black Navy, this is just a quality card, guys. I don't know how else to say it, and especially in a deck like Koby, they cannot remove this card, like, if they try. You know, it's already hard enough to deal with a 7-cost, 7,000 power character, but then when you also tack on this original version of, you know, removal prevention, it makes this card very, very sticky. And here's the thing, it's a 7k blocker, and when you play it, you're going to be pulling a card like this Kuzan out of the trash for additional value, or even something like a Brand New. So good stuff here. Virgo is just a searchable Navy 2k counter. I don't know. I was just trying it. You can try whatever you want in the place of this. It's not necessary for the deck, and it didn't come up at all in testing, only just as a 2k counter. Brand New, we all know what Brand New does. Now, Aramaki is a new 2k counter that came out in OP11 with the whole Navy Sword package, and this card is excellent. The stats don't matter. It's just a 1 cost 2K counter. So 2K counter matters. And it is good that it's only a 1 cost, because listen what it does. Activate main, trash this character. If your leader has the Navy type, choose up to one of your characters with the Navy type. That character can attack active characters during this turn, and you're going to trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. That is really important with cards like Brand New and Aramaki, where you're trashing cards and filling, you're filling up your trash, right? You're filling up your trash with cards for your leader's effect. Because remember, you have to return 3 cards from your trash to save a character. So if you have no cards in your trash, you can't save a character with your leader's effect. So Brand New and Aramaki help out with that, and so does Kuzan. We'll get to that. We'll get to Kuzan in a minute. But yeah, this Aramaki is actually a very strong utility 2K counter in the deck. Being able to attack into active characters is no joke. It is really, really nice, and he can make it where this character can only make it where other characters can do it. This one cannot make your leader attack into active. Let me see. If your leader has the Navy type, choose up to one of your characters with the Navy type. That character can attack into active characters during this turn. So really good stuff there. Kuzan, on the other hand, is probably one of my favorite cards in what we're trying to do here. It's a 4 cost 5K with a 1K counter with an on play and when attacking. On play, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. So you're immediately going to be able to protect this card the turn you play them. Or the turn you play Kuzan, you can protect him right away with your leader's effect. Which, that is more important than it might sound. And then it has a when attacking, up to one of your leaders or characters with the Navy type can attack active characters during this turn. So again, only Kuzan and Borsalino make it where your Navy leader or characters can attack into active characters during the turn. And then your Hibari can make it where your leader can attack into active characters, and Aramaki makes it where characters can attack into active characters. It does get very confusing, but the more you play test it, it does become a little more, how do I say this? The more you play test it, it becomes more obvious, it becomes more natural. Okay, really good card, though, Kuzan is. Unfortunately, it's not sword. Borsalino and Kuzan are not sword, so they cannot attack on the turn they're played. And I do want to talk about that. I'll try to save it for later in the video towards the end for, like, possible revisions and, like, looking forward. There are some things that could improve this list, but Bandai has to do it. I think it needs a little more support, and we'll talk about that more later. Helmeppo, great card. It's a great combo piece for the deck. It's a 6 cost 7K Navy Sword character with on play, trash 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card, and play up to 1 sword type character with a cost of 8 or less from your trash, other than Helmeppo. Then at the end of this turn, place 1 character played out by this effect to the bottom of its owner's deck. So you can only hit a, you're going to trash a card from your hand and then draw a card with the effect, and then you're going to play up to 1 sword type character card with the cost of 8 or less, other than Helmeppo from your hand. So the idea, and it's going to go away at the end of the turn. So the whole idea is you combo it with Koby or something like Koby, like something like Hibari. Hibari and Koby are basically the best targets for it, and then this Koby's decent as well. But the main thing to do is trash something like Koby, which we'll talk about in a second, and it's going to be able to attack right away, right on the turn you do it, but then it goes away at the end of the turn. It goes to the bottom of the deck. It doesn't even go to the trash from Helmeppo's effect, which is a little bit rough. But this card is still very good. It allows you to establish a 6 cost 7K and get some tempo by attacking with something, that you played out with the effect, and go from there. So, for example, let's just give an example with Hibari, since we already went over this character. Now, again, Koby makes the effect even stronger, but let's use an example we can already use because we went over Hibari already. So let's just say you're on like a 6 or 7 dawn turn. You're about to play this Helmeppo out on curve, and your opponent has a rested character. Well, here's how that might look. What you're going to be able to do is play out Helmeppo, okay? Trashing the Hibari, drawing a card, and then playing Hibari from the trash with the character's effect. You play it from the trash. And now when Hibari comes into play, they are a sword character, so they can attack into characters the turn they're played. So with Hibari here, what we're going to be able to do is, on play, minus 2,000 to a character, attack into a character that's rested, right? And then our leader is going to be able to attack into an active character from the when attacking of Hibari. And you're going to be able to go from there. It ends up being a very strong combo piece. As long as you have the Hibari or the Koby to combo it with, or maybe even this Koby, as long as you have like a strong enough target to combo it with, it ends up being very strong. But that's the problem right now. I feel like there's not very many targets for it. But I'll try to say that for later. What else? Yeah, that's it for Helmeppo. Very solid card. This is a great tempo card in the deck, and it is a sword character. So if your opponent has more characters to attack into, you can turn the card sideways and go into it. And it can only bring out a sword character with a cost of 8 or less from the trash. So unfortunately, we can't grab Sengoku. That would have been really cool. Okay, next up is Koby. This is an 8-cost 9K. It's a secret rare. It's one of the secret rares from OP11. It has an on-play up to one of your up to one of your characters can attack one of your opponent's active characters during this turn. I think most of the time you're just going to choose Koby with that effect, so that way he can attack into active characters. And then it has a when attacking, you may return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order and give your leader or up to one of your characters plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that is a buff that will persist through your turn and into your opponent's turn. This is a great piece in the deck, and I probably will go up to 4 of these. I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler. I think I need 4 of these in the deck moving forward. Okay, really good stuff here, and this is like the perfect combo piece with Helmeppo, even though it goes to the bottom of your deck afterwards. Okay, and then last but not least, we have Honesty Impact, 6-cost event here that can pop a 10,000 power character. Very good card here. And the trigger can KO a 6K or less. Really good stuff. Just a great Navy searchable card that has utility. Spoiler warning, this card does come up in the playtesting. And it's like a game-winning card, at least in my opinion. This is a really solid card here. I'm a big fan of this card. Heavenly Impact, right? I'm just kidding. No, I think I might start calling it that now, just out of sheer, you know, confusion for people. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. We'll call it Honesty Impact. I don't want to confuse anyone. But for some reason, I keep wanting to call it Heavenly Impact. I don't know why, but it's Honesty Impact. I got to ingrain that into my mind. Okay, so that's the list, guys. Let's go ahead and see what this deck can do. Let's see it in action. Very fun list. I will say that right now. This is a very fun list to play. If you have not tried out Koby just yet, by all means you need to. You need to do yourself a favor and do that as soon as possible. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Before I hit start, I have to say something. Had to do 6 games on the sim today, because, or not necessarily today, it was from yesterday and today at the time you're recording this, because a lot of people just leave sometimes against Koby. It's kind of weird. They leave a little prematurely, so I wanted to have more games than normal. But guys, this is a new leader people are figuring out, and when certain things happen, it starts feeling very overwhelming. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up in advance here. These are not the best games I've ever put out in videos, but some of them are very entertaining, and we'll talk about that. This is one of them. This is one of them. All right, so let's go ahead and hit play. Let's see what happens here. Volume's off, speed's on 2x. Here we go. Y'all know the drill. So we're going to go first. I think, typically speaking, we would rather go second, okay? Because we want to play down a brand new right away. We drew a Peacock for the turn. We're going to play that out. There was no turn 1 play for the Luffy. They just pass and go. We swing for 7. They 2K counter out. We play out the Peacock. We fix our hand, and here we go. They're going to play out a Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. They're going to swing for 6. We're just going to 2K to get out of that. And now we're up to 5 Dawn. We can't really play out the Hibari this turn. There's nothing we can attack into, unfortunately, because remember, you cannot attack into active characters unless another effect allows you to do that. We're going to play out the Kuzan. He can protect himself. And watch this, guys. Got a very short game for today. Watch this. They're on their 7 Dawn turn, and I guess they, you know, actually, okay, sorry guys, spoiler warning, it's on the next turn here. So they're going to swing in for 8. I'm just going to take this. They're going to swing for 8 more, and I think we're going to take this as well, pretty greedily, or swing for 9, and we're going to take this. And now we're just going to completely beat up this board here. He's not keeping that Mr. 2 on the board, especially with what we have here for him. We're going to play this out. Actually, I think we're just going to play a Sengoku because I'm not afraid of him keeping that card. Yeah, we're going to play out a Sengoku, playing out a Kuzan. We're going to go 5 into that, and then we're going to go, then we can't even swing. We can't even swing with our leader because he's a 6,000 power, Blue-Purple Luffy's a 6,000 power leader. Now, watch this, guys. Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger. Okay, well, I guess I'll just return 3 cards and save both of them. Pretty good play, right? GG. That guy said, no thanks, did not know it did that, I'm out of here. So for those who are not aware, replacement effects like what Koby has, it will save both targets if they're both legal for you know, like if it was like a Navy character and something else, it wouldn't be able to save the other target, but it will save the Navy ones. And it will basically replace all the effects of the removal. So Gravity Blade Raging Tiger targeted both of my Kuzans. They thought, okay, I'm going to get rid of both of those with the Gravity Blade Raging Tiger and go about things next turn. So you can't keep attacking into my active characters. Okay, that's actually a good idea, right? Except you can't do that, right? Except you can't do that because I can just return 3 cards from my trash to the bottom of my deck and protect my character instead. So as soon as they saw that, like, wait a minute, it protects both of them, they said, I'm out of here. Okay, good game to my opponent. Like I said, hey, that's why we do these videos. It's a big learning process, right? There's a lot of learning going on with these new leaders. Okay, next up we have a game versus Red Blue Caesar Clown. Now, this one's a much better game than the last one. The last one was more of like a, you know, more of an entertaining game, whereas this one I think is going to be a much more interesting one. Okay, volume's off, speed is on 2x. Here we go. Let's see if we get to go first or second in this game. Like I said, we prefer going second because we can play out brand new, but if we go first, we can also play out Peacock if we draw these cards. Okay, they play out a Virgo. They searched up the Gum Gum UFO. We have nothing to do on turn 1. That feels terrible. Even though I'm running 8 searchers in the deck, 4 of the 1 cost, 4 of the 2 cost. We just didn't see them. It happens. We're going to 2K counter out pretty aggressively here. We don't want to go too low in health against any deck that's running red because they could have whatever kind of rush tricks later in the game. So we're going to play out the Kuzan, filling up our trash. We swing for 5. They took it. And here we go. They're going to play out Monet. They're going to do minus 1,000 to my Kuzan. They're going to try to remove it. No, sir. You're not getting that card. It's not happening. So we go ahead and save it. We take the 7K hit. They swing for 9,000 with that slimy card, guys. That is crazy. So then we go ahead and we take that hit. We're down to 2, and they fill out the board. Now watch this. Watch this, guys. We're going to try to take this board back. Now, what's really funny is I am still a little bit slow playing this deck because I'm still trying to learn it. We play out Helmeppo. We trash a card. We're gonna get the Koby, and we're gonna play. Excuse me. We trashed the Koby from the effect. Now we're gonna be able to attack into active characters with the Koby. We're gonna swing into that. Now the blocker's gone. Now we're going to use Kuzan to swing 5 into the 1K character, giving our Helmeppo the ability to attack active. We smash into, and then they lose the Smiley there. I called him Slimy earlier. That's funny. Smiley's his name. We just completely ate up his whole board. He's down to 2 life, and that's what this deck can do, guys. It can kind of attack into active with all kinds of different effects. Aramaki's another one, right? So here we go. They're going to play out the Monet, and I'm not giving them anything. I'm not going to let them just have characters for free. Okay, they're going to swing 7 into 3 here. I'm going to let the Kuzan go from the effect and the Helmeppo because I'm starting to run out of cards in my trash. Okay, so they're going to swing 5 into 5 here. I don't think I should let them have that yet. We're going to counter out of that, and we're good. Okay, we play out Peacock here. We're looking for some answers. We have another Helmeppo. We're going to trash X-Drake. We're going to play out the Koby this time, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'd be the right call because it's going to go away at the end of the turn anyway, right? It's just going to get bottom decked. So we're going to swing 7 into 2 because it can attack on the turn it's played because it's a sword character. And that's going to buff our leader by 2,000. And now I'm really considering playing out the Aramaki and allowing my Helmeppo to attack into active characters. And I think I had a slight play mistake here. I think I should have used the activate main on the Peacock to trash that card and make my Helmeppo to an 8K. So then they really could not try to save that Caesar Soldier because that was a little too close for comfort there. Okay. So they end up taking the hit there, but we are a 7,000 power leader this turn, okay? We are a 7,000 power leader this turn. Okay, they're on a 9 Dawn turn. Let's see what they choose to do. They're going to keep recycling this Monet. That card is so good in Caesar Clown. It is so good. And here we go. They're going to attach 2 with it to the Caesar Clown. They're going to play out another Smiley, or Slimy, however you want to say it, right? No, that card's name is Smiley. My bad, guys. I'm just butchering all the names. We butchered Honesty Impact to Heavenly Impact. We butchered Smiley to Slimy. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong. Okay, they smash in really aggressively into Helmeppo, and I say, nope, you're not getting this card. I have too much control of the board right now, and I'm not giving it up. Okay, very nice. So now we're on our 10 Dawn turn. Let's see what happens here. We can attack into active characters here with the Aramaki, but do I want to use my 2K counters on that? You know, I don't really think it's the right call. It depends, of course. It really depends. So right here, we're going to go ahead and swing for 7 into face. Let's see what they want to give me. A lot of cards. I think that was 3 1Ks, if I'm not mistaken. We play out the Sengoku. We play out the Borsalino. We have a blocker. We have 2 blockers now, 2 life. Our board is full, but 1 card doesn't really matter, right? The Peacock doesn't really matter that much. Okay, how much more power reduction does this guy have? He is going to swing in for 10 into 6. And honestly, and then he's going to try to KO something. We're just going to return. We have plenty of cards in the trash now. We're going to save whatever it is, and then we're going to block out with the Borsalino. Now, if he wants to attack in with Smiley, that's fine. Right, that's fine. Okay, they're going to go 7 into 6, it looks like. Maybe 8. I don't understand why they'd go 7 into 6 there. Like, maybe just to get past my Helmeppo. But if that's the case, why not swing 8 into it? Because now, even if he tries to load 4 Dawn on the Dragon number 13, I can block with the Sengoku. I think that was just a play mistake. But I guess I could have blocked with the Sengoku and 2K countered out anyway. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and start trying to get this board back. We also want to try to not lose the game here. We're going to trash the Peacock with the activate main. We're going to go 8 into 6. This would cost both cards from hand. They cannot save it. And watch this, guys. with this effect here, I don't think we're necessarily going to go for lethal yet. We're going to swing for 8 and make it where our leader can attack into active characters. So okay, we're just going to smash into the dragon, get it out of the way. Now we can sit on 2 blockers and just pass the turn. We could have tried to swing for 11 lethal there. In fact, I'm sorry, that would have been lethal. What am I talking about? So that would have just been lethal. We definitely missed it there, but hey, there's pretty much no chance we can lose the game at this point with double blocker, 2 life, and my opponent has no board. But that was definitely a missed lethal. Guys, where's the accuracy meter? Hang on. Blunder, missed lethal, missed win. What am I doing here, guys? But no, honestly, I'm trying to learn this new deck, so it does help sometimes to extend games, even if you could have won on a turn. We're just going to swing it for 5 now. I think we're just going to beat them down at this point. I don't think they can get out of it. We'll go 5 into the blocker, and we'll bash in for 9, and this should be GG. Even if they have like 2 events or whatever, we'll be able to get past them here. Okay, they let it go. We'll swing in for 9, and then it was going to be swinging for 15 with Sengoku. 8 on Sengoku. Good game. All right, that was a fun one. All right, next game. We got a game versus Edward Newgate. Okay, this was a pretty spicy game here. This one was pretty fun, if I remember correctly. Volume is off. Speed's on 2x. Here we go. And now, okay, now this is a pretty good pull we have here, guys. We have the 1, 2, 4, and 6 card, and a 5 we drew for the turn into the 8 we want. Yeah, so this is the deck here, probably at full power. Seeing every single card we wanted to see on curve, because you want to go second and go turn 1 brand new, turn 2 Kuzan, turn 3 Helmeppo. That trashes a Koby, and you just get the full board control there. We're going to play out the Kuzan, filling up our trash. They're going to play out a Luffy here. They're going to swing for 7 and then 6, so we're going to take the 7 and just counter out of the 6. They'll swing for 6. We'll give them the 2K counter Virgo, and now it's our turn. Okay, now we have cards to attack into on the board. We're going to play out this Koby here. There's a few ways you can choose to do this. The thing that is really unfortunate here is, you know, we can't really attack into much because this is a 6,000 power character on the board and a 6,000 power leader they have. So this turn would have been way stronger against a deck that was not 6,000 power. Or a leader that's 6,000 power, I should say. So we smash into everything. We get rid of what we need to there. And here we go. That whittled their hand down big time. They're down to 5 cards in hand. And for those who are not aware, who have not played against many Edward Newgates, some of the newer players out there, Edward Newgate is like notorious for having a massive hand size. Like they're just like 10 cards in hand at all times. So we did a lot of damage that turn, even though it looked like we didn't. We're going to counter out of that. Here we go. Now it's time to go for the board again. We're going to play out the Peacock to search up some cards we might need. We're going to use the Helmeppo, trashing the Hibari. We're going to go ahead and grab the Hibari from the trash here. On play, we'll do minus 2,000 to the bigger character. And now we get to attack into whatever we want to here for the most part. And it's going to be a 7K attack at first. In fact, we're going to go 6 into 5 here. I'd rather eat up these 2K counters. I'm doing this intentionally. They know better. Very annoying when they know what they're doing here. I 2K counter out of that. Now we're going to on play with the Hibari here. We're going to go 8 into 6. And we'll make it where something in attack active. That part doesn't matter. Okay, so 8 into 6. This will cost a 2K and a 1K. They can't save it. My Hibari goes away at the end of the turn from the effect of Helmeppo. And here we go. We kind of have the board back. They're down to 6 cards in hand. We still have a big character on the board. They swing for 6. We're going to 2K counter out of that. And they're going to be at 1 life after this turn. They go 11 into 7. Okay, hey, you can have it. Look at the card I have in my hand, guys. Okay, now that chopper, that was very frustrating. How dare him do that? So we're going to use Doll here, and we're going to go minus 6,000 to a dragon. That's a 3,000 power dragon. We're going 5 into 3 to start. Let's see what he wants to do here. He's going to 2K, 1K to get out of it. He has 3 cards in hand, guys. We're just beating him down on the board right now, and that's beating him down in life because of the leader effect. Because of Edward Newgate's leader effect. All right, so here I have a choice. I think I'm going to go 5 more into the card and see what they want to do. I think they should have used the blocker here to be fair, but we would just block with Doll, whatever happens. I think they let it go, though. They do end up letting it go, so we just go ahead and play out another Doll, and we pass. We could have done 2 Dolls that turn, but remember, you have to trash a card. We could have done 2 Doll effects that turn to easily get rid of the dragon, and he wouldn't even be able to block out of it. But remember, guys, you have to trash a card with Doll's effect. I'd rather just do it that way. It was slightly more greedy to do it that way, but look at my opponent's hand, guys. It is nothing. They're swinging 8 into 5 here. We're going to go ahead and take that one down to 1 life. They play out another blocker. They lose their last life card, and here we go. I have more and more blockers to play, guys. Okay, nothing is really a great pull here. The Helmeppo is interesting, but I'd rather get something with a counter on it that has other utility. We just grabbed the 1K counter Kuzan. We don't need the removal here. Okay, we are going to play out the Sengoku at some point. Let's see how we want to do this. We're going to swing for 7, I think, into face. Make him give me a 2K counter or something like that. He gives me a 2K. Very nice. We play out the Sengoku. We play out the Kuzan. We fill up cards in our trash. And here we go. So again, we're just kind of beating our opponent down and just getting every card out of their hand. We have tons of blockers. We have 3 blockers on the board. It might look like, wait, how are we going to survive here? Guys, we have 3 blockers, and we actually have 7K counter in hand and a life. So we're actually in a much better position than it seems. They're going to go 8 into 5 here. We're going to block in 2K because we have all these other blockers to use up as well. Yeah, seems good. Even if he has Rush Luffy, it doesn't matter because we have 1 life. And they're going to swing for 7 into 5. We're just going to counter. We're just going to block out with the doll. And now they have 6 Dawn left for the turn. Let's see what they choose to do. I think they have another, another Zoro here. Attach to, smash in. Attacking into my Kuzan. I probably could have just let the card go. I'm not sure if I don't remember if I do or not, but I think I could just let Kuzan go and it would have been fine. But that's okay. So right here, I think we just have calculated lethal. I think we just swing 6 a few times here. Let's see. I think we actually are just going to swing for 8. Let's see what he does. I think he counters out and that gives us calculated. So watch this. Okay, so he takes it, or he counters out, so now I just get to swing 6, swing 6, swing 8. Or 6, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. That's that. I was trying to get it. So that's why he should have used his blockers a little bit more, but I guess he was afraid of me attacking into a blocker. That is a legitimate concern. Because I could have, by the way, I could have, right? I did have Borsalino. I could have made it where I could, just swing 3 into the Tony Chopper or something like that. I don't know. There was probably a play in there we could have done. But again, we're trying to figure out how to use this deck properly. And so far, it's working out pretty well. We were able to really eat up the board from the Newgate there. And those were big characters. Those were really big characters. Okay, next up we have a game versus Green Carrot. Okay, pretty fun game here. Let me go. Volume's off, speed is on 2x. And this is another one of those games where it's just, I'm just going to make sure you understand not to get your hopes up. This was shaping up to be a great game, and then I play a certain card, and it basically just ends the game on the spot. They could have tried to keep battling for it, but you'll see what happens when we get to it. So again, we get a pretty decent start here. We're going second. Turn 1, Carrot did not get a Searcher. They did get a turn 2 Zhao, or Zo, however you say that. We have a turn 1 Brand New, but we don't have the turn 2 follow-up with Kuzan, and that is a very nice follow-up, I have to say, guys. But against Carrot, I guess in all fairness, it's not as good. We're going to swing in for 5. We're going to swing in for 5 more. We're eating up the hand size, playing out a Brand New, searching some cards up. Hibari's very good. Hibari's a very good card into a deck that's trying to flood the board. But Carrot has Zal already down, so they're going to be able to protect their board pretty nicely here. They're going to go 6 into 3. You can have that. The cards served its purpose and did even more than that, right? Eating up attacks, drawing cards, attacking, all that good stuff. Okay. So we have a 6 Dawn turn, but we don't really have a 6 Dawn play. We're just going to have to swing 6 with Leader and play out a 5-cost Hibari. We're going to swing for 6. They might just take this. They choose to counter out aggressively. That's fine with me. We play out the Hibari here. And then just pass the turn because we can't attack into anything this turn. They have nothing sideways. They're going to cycle a card out with from their hand with Electrical Luna here, or with the Bartolomew's effect. So their leader tapped down our card, which allowed them to cycle a card with Bartolomeo. They cycle out Electrical Luna. They they draw a card like that with Bartolomeo, cycling out the Electrical Luna. They smash in for 7 with the Carrot and stand in a turn. That's just a 2-cost blocker, a 2-cost promo Minx blocker. Okay, well, I think it's time to start slamming down the big characters. It's time to start slamming down the big boys. We're just gonna drop down the Koby. We're gonna make it where he can attack into active characters. We're gonna use his effect to buff our leader. We should have done it in a different order technically, but hey, who cares? Okay, I think they took the hit anyway from our leader attack, or we got a card out of hand. We'll take both. We attack into the Bartolomeo. They give us the 2-cost blocker, but now they're losing cards. Now they're losing Minx cards. They only have one left on the board, the Wanda. And for anyone who might be wondering, like, yeah, okay, hang on. Who here was thinking, oh man, I'm about to lose my Koby. He's about to drop a 9-cost Shanks on me. Who was thinking that? Think again. It would not have mattered at... okay, it actually would have mattered, right? It would have mattered because we can't protect Koby because he's a 7,000 power... he's higher than a 7,000 power character. So the only thing that would have really hurt me here was if they played out the 9-cost Shanks. However, they play out the 9-cost Zoro, and we may or may not have the perfect answer in our hand. And I think we could have dealt with the card anyway, by the way, because we do have, Borsalino and Dahl in hand. We could have probably gotten to him if we needed to. But then again, we can't. They do have a blocker. It would have complicated things. So watch how we do this, guys. We do things in a little bit strange order because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. We are going to attack in for 5 first to see what they want to give me. Okay, we could have attacked in for 6 because I think we only have a 9 Dawn play here. Okay, but not a big deal. We attack in. They might have had a trigger there, but chose not to do it. And then we play out a Borsalino, making it where we can attack into active characters. And we're going to smash into the Borsalino. And we are going to return some cards to the bottom of our deck to buff our leader. Because the leader takes 3 cards from the trash, and the 9 costs... Okay, pause. There it was, guys. The game-winning play. Hang on, we're going to talk about that in a second. Koby, the character, you only have to return 2 cards from your trash. But the leader effect, to save a character, you have to return 3 cards from the trash. So we'll see what happens here. So we attack in. They end up letting that card go, of course. And then we Honesty Impact to just get rid of their Zoro. And guys, my opponent says, you know what? You know what? I'm not really feeling this game anymore, right? I'm not really feeling this game anymore. Like I said, the only thing that could have really helped them in this situation is something like a 9-cost Shanks. And 9-cost Shanks is not nearly as scary as that Zoro, and we have the Helmeppo in our hand. So then we can play out some cards, you know, we can, on the following turn, if we needed to, we could have played out the Helmeppo, trashing a card from hand and drawing a card to put a Koby back on the field and attacking. So that was a really good example of how strong Koby can be, even just playing it out. A lot of people, a lot of people I've seen on the sim, they will typically just play out the Helmeppo, get out the Koby, and go from there. Well, guys, then you lose the Koby. If you use the Koby just for just playing it out by itself, it's a very strong card, right? It's just it's very hard for your opponent to deal with. Okay, good game to my opponent. Let's go on to the next one. We got another one. This one's kind of a shorter game, guys, because now this one I think is because of just Koby being able to really dominate the board. Watch what happens this game, guys. Volume is off. Speed is on. Whoops, I hit equalizer. I don't know what that does. I guess it equalizes, right? Speed's on 2x. Here we go. So they went first, played out the stage, did some searching. I went turn 1 brand new. They did not use the leader effect, so I got to search as well. We've got double searchers in our hand. Seems good. They're going to swing for 5. I think we are going to counter out of this with the 7-cost promo Koby. I don't really need that card. Okay. In fact, it's kind of better in the trash to use with Helmeppo later if we are able to pull off the on-play when it comes up. We're going to play out Peacock here. We search up. I just want the biggest card I can get in this case, and it ends up being Koby. Okay, so right here, I think we're going to attack in for 5 and 5, maybe. Oh, excuse me. I have a play here with Aramaki to make it where my brand new can attack into Doc Q. We're going to go 4 into 0. That card's gone. And now we're going to swing 5 into face here. And watch this. I'm glad I attacked in that order because watch this. They end up using a Shigan Finger Pistol to get rid of my Peacock. And now I'm going to play out another one. I'm going to search up a card. We have another Koby. We are about to just start laying it on this guy turn after turn after turn of just playing out Kobys. Okay, so we filled up our trash pretty effectively there with the brand new and the Peacock effect, and just, we're in a pretty good spot. We're set up for success here. We're really set up for success here. Now watch this. My opponent's not about to like this. As it turns out, we're going to play out the Helmeppo, trashing a Koby, using the Koby, and now we're going to get to attack into active characters. So we're going to swing 9 into 5, and I'm going to use the effect here to make it where my leader's a 6,000 power character, or a 6,000 power leader, but they said, you know what? I see where this is going. I'm out. Yeah, definitely. This is one of those situations where I am not gonna let him use a Helmeppo, or excuse me, a Kuzan for the rest of the game. Because even on the next turn, I actually could. Well, it depends on what my opponent does. If they did not use their leader effects one time and they're still down to 5 cards, because I keep attacking into their board and not really worrying about attacking in the face. But if they did not use their leader effect next turn, that was going to be a very bad situation, guys, because then I'm going to be able to play out a Koby and just attack right into whatever they play. But either way, good game to my opponent there. That was a rough one. They did leave a little early, but they might have been a newer player, and they may have just gotten overwhelmed, because now I have a 6-cost 7K on the board. And yeah, the Koby goes away at the end of turn, but who cares? I still have the Helmeppo, and I'm going to be able to do what I want from there. Good game to my opponent. Now we got one more game. That's why I had to have 6 games today, guys, because 2 games, really arguably 3 games, were just so short because of opponents just getting fed up with how Koby works, getting frustrated with the mechanics of it, I think. or just not wanting to play against it. You know, it happens. It happens. All right, now we got a game versus Green Yellow Law. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x. Here we go. They start off with the turn 1 Searcher Bonnie. We go turn 1 Peacock. Did we get a... We had to have gotten a brand new from the turn. Hang on, guys. We have to search. We have to go back real quick. I'm sorry. I know. Yeah, so we grabbed the brand new from the Peacock's search. Okay, so they're going to search up with Bonnie here. Let's see what they choose to get. They get a 7-cost Trafalgar Law. And that was their first search with it because they went first and played it out with 1 Dawn. Okay, now they play out another Bonnie. They're going to do some more searching. They grab a 3-cost Blocker Bonnie. They're going to swing for 5. We're going to 1K counter out. I pretty much default counter out with that 7-cost Koby every time when I can. Because it really is not something we want to play out typically. It just doesn't really have enough benefits to playing out unless there's enough cards to attack into on the board. So watch this, guys. We're going to go 1 into 1. Let's see if he wants to give us a card from hand. Let's see if he wants to. Okay. He didn't fall for it. We were going to try something crazy there. We were going to try at least something to get stuff off the board there. I was going to try to use the Aramaki to attack into something there. I don't know what I was going to do, but... Hang on, what was I trying? Hang on, pause. We got to go backwards. Why didn't I attack for more than that? I think that was just a slight mistake here, guys. So in this situation here, I was going to swing, so I swung 1,000. I was able to swing 1,000 into 1,000, and they let it go. I'm surprised they didn't save that card, because then I was going to swing 5 into the other. But I think in my mind, I was thinking, okay, maybe what I'll do. Oh, I see what I was going to do. What I was going to do was I was going to play out the Prince Gruss if they saved the card and attack into it like that by attaching a Dawn to Prince Gruss, swinging 3,000 into 1,000. That's what I was going to try to do. Okay, that ended up not having to happen, so that's good either way. So we were able to swing 1 into 1 there and then 5 into 1. Their board's gone, and now we can just do some searching with brand new and go from there. Okay, here we go. So our hand's getting pretty stacked. We're approaching the mid game. We keep not getting the 4-cost Kuzan, unfortunately, and he is like a big part of how this deck functions. Being able to play him out on curve on turn 2 every time where he can protect himself and he starts allowing you to attack into active, he really makes these games a lot easier. Okay, so they're going to play out Cavendish here. They get 2 Dawn as active. They could have swung for 6, but I think we ended up taking it anyway. Oh, they swung into the Peacock, but I don't even think it mattered. Okay, so they use the beige here. They put a Trafalgar Law on top of deck. They're going to play out the Trafalgar Law. They have nothing they can even bounce back. I mean, they could pull back the Cavendish, but why would you? It doesn't really make sense. All right, now, guys, watch this. We got a tricky play here. Pause. Okay, pop quiz. What would you guys do in this situation? Pause the video if you need to. Figure out the play you would make in this situation. I'm about to show you why it is so important. It is so important to just give these little pokes first. Not always. You know, sometimes you have to do a little more math. But sometimes it's so nice to do a poke and see what your opponent does and let them make their own mistakes. Watch this, guys. Watch this. All right, let's see. What would you do? I'm going to swing for 5. But wait, they have a 6,000 power blocker. Oh, no, right? Oh, no. No, we're going to be all right. We're going to play out the Helmeppo. We're going to trash the Koby and draw a card. We're going to play the Koby from the trash. We're going to swing 7 into 6 here. Let's see if he wants to save this. The answer is he probably should save this one because saving the Cavendish is going to be much less realistic here. So watch this. Okay, I think they do save this card. I could be wrong. Nope, they let it go. We're going to swing 10 into the 9 into the Cavendish using the effect to buff him to 10. We're going to go 10 into 6 here. This is going to take 3 cards from their hand, guys. 3 cards from their hand. They use a 2K counter Zeus, a 2K counter Drake, and the 1K counter Blocker Bonnie that we knew of. And now we still know they have a 7-cost 9K in their hand, the 7-cost 9K Trafalgar Law. So we know 1 card in their hand is a brick. We don't know the other 3. Well, now they got another X-Drake. So now we know they have an X-Drake and a Trafalgar Law, and then 2 cards we have no idea what they are. They're going to swing for 6. I think we ended up taking that. I believe we took that, and now they're going to be able to play out the 7-cost 9K. We knew they had it, and I believe they put another 7-cost 9K into life with that effect. Okay, so we're just gathering information. We're gathering up all the information we need right now. Okay, so we're going to go 3 into 1 here. Obviously, that's just a free attack. We're going to cash in on that every single time. And they have 2 cards in hand, guys. They have 2 cards in hand, 2 cards on the board. They are very big cards on the board. But look what we have, guys. Yet again, watch this. 7 into 6. We know they have a 2K counter. I already know they do. Oh, they showed us an X-Drake. Hang on a minute. Now they're 2K countering out with a beige. So watch this. I do some scrolling. Look on the right of your screen here. I'm like, wait, what did they just search up? Oh, so I know they have an X-Drake in hand. Okay, well, if that's the case, hang on. We'll just go ahead and swing 6 into this Cavendish. Make him think he's going to save it, right? There's the X-Ray. All right, well, now your whole board's gone. We're going to play out the Helmeppo. We're going to cheat out another Koby. We're going to make the Koby attack into active, 9 into that. We're not going to use the effect this time because our trash is getting a little low. I want to be able to protect the board. We're going to play out an Aramaki now from hand as our last one dawn so we can attack into whatever active character they play next turn. We got this guy in a little bit of a checkmate situation. He goes 12 into that. You can have it. Look at our board, guys. Now we're just going to start beating in. This is where Sengoku is really nice, by the way, the 7-cost Sengoku, to really help protect the board and get a big body on the board and fill it out and all that. So we're going to play out the Koby. We can't attack in anything because there's no active characters. There's no active characters or rested characters to attack into. They play out the 7-cost Trafalgar Law, and yeah, they are up against the ropes right now, guys. They have 2 life. How are they going to survive here? The answer is they're not, right? That's pretty much the answer. They can't rush us down. We have 3 life. We actually have 2, 4, 6k counter in hand, 3 life. We don't have a blocker, but our hand is actually pretty decent as well. They're going to go 6 into 5. We are going to 2k counter out. There's no reason to let our life dip down low here when we're in such a commanding position, because I can go all into their face right here and then not have to worry about the crackback. So we're going to go for 5 here. 5k poke. 7k poke. Okay, I think they have to counter out of this. Okay, so right here, I think we do have a slight play mistake. We shouldn't have swung in with that first, but we're going to use the effect to buff our leader by 1,000. But we should have swung for 7 with Aramaki first. Then we could have gone with the Koby and then done a 9k to finish up. I think we had the math for that. Yeah, see, I ended up having to do it. Yeah, it would have been swing 9, swing 10, or something along those lines. So we could have done, after the 5k attack from brand new, we could have actually gone... Okay, so actually... I don't know. It might not have mattered. Either way, we should have done the attacks in slightly different order, but we were in such a commanding position, it ended up not even mattering in that position here. Because I think at this point, yeah, it was going to be swing 7, and then if they have the block, if they have to block, I just go all in to go for lethal because I swing in for 9. And if they counter out of it, they still have the blocker, so I just play out my 3-cost Borsellino. Either way, we got there in the end. Good game to my opponent. Good game to all my opponents. That was it for today. Now, let's go ahead and check out the deck list. We got something to talk about here. So my biggest concern right now with running the sword package of Koby, the Navy sword package, is this is all the sword support we have right now in the game. So if you type in, if you click red and black in the sim, type in sword, these are all the sword characters in the game. Excuse me. So there's Peacock, Hibari, Prince Gruss, X-Drake, Koby, Helmeppo, and Koby. Now let's talk about that for a second. Number 1, this is a promo card. Who knows if or when we're ever going to get this in the West. Okay, so there's the first one. Like, okay, you might as well count that out until we know when we're going to get this card. And then Prince Gruss and Peacock, these aren't really cards, even X-Drake, these aren't really cards you want to play out on curve to attack into your opponent's board with. I mean, Peacock we're going to play out on curve on turn 1 just to do searching. But like as far as like cards to attack into your opponent's board with your leader Koby, you only have, like realistically, you only have 3 good targets. And that's Hibari, Helmeppo, and Koby. Yes, the X-Drake is fine, but that's a 2k counter we're losing as well. So we don't really want to do that unless we absolutely have to. And Koby, we don't know if we're going to get the card or when we're going to get it. So that's my biggest concern with this, you know, red, black, navy sword package so far, is there's such limited targets. I'm hoping in the future, if Bandai chooses to stick with red, black, navy sword, which I hope they do. I think it's a very cool, I think this is really cool. I think this is a cool, like, archetype in the game with the sword, the red and black combo. If you guys have not noticed, it looks like the new thing they're doing for red and black. So, okay, let's type in leaders real quick. Hang on. If you look at, let me just type in, I'll type in leader. So if you look at the red and black leaders in the past, it was Garp. And a lot of people complained about this color combo because it just seemed to have like almost no synergy, right? It really seemed to not work out very well. However, then they experimented with Sabo, you know, in block 2. Like this is all the way back in block 1, OP02, and then in block, in block 1, OP02, you had Garp, and then block 2, OP05, you had red, black, Sabo. And I think this was received, you know, people liked this a lot better. And now in block 3, OP11, we have Koby. And this one, you know, Sabo and Koby, I think this is going to be a really cool thing for the red-black color pool, where it's focused more on protecting your characters. I don't know how much sense, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me being a red and black combo, but hey, if that's what they're choosing to go with, we'll take it. It at least makes more sense and has more synergy, at least in my opinion, than something like Garp did. That's just me. Some people might disagree with that. That's fine. But I do like what they're doing here. And but I think what Koby needs going forward is we need more sword cards in the red and black color pool that we can combo with this leader. It'd be really nice to have another 4-drop, or even a 3 or 4-drop. Like I would really like another 4-drop personally, but I guess 3-drop would make a lot of sense too. A navy sword character, maybe make it a 3-cost 5,000 power character that has like on play, this character can attack into active characters. Okay, and if it's a sword character, you can attack the turn it's played, right? So you'd be able to attack into active characters and keep the pressure on it that way. Because while Kuzan is very good, and I hopefully get this card every single time on curve going second. I don't always get that, but it's nice when it happens. While this card is good, it's not a sword character. So we can't actually attack in right away with Koby, you know, with Koby's effect late in the game with Kuzan. In fact, we can only really do that, like I said, realistically with like 3 or 4 characters. Hibari, Helmeppo, and Koby. And then if we ever get the promo Koby with that card, and then I guess technically X-Drake, but that... guys, let me just say right now, if you have to play out X-Drake for 6 Dawn, you are hurting. And I'm not talking about off of Helmeppo. That would be fine, right? Playing it off of Helmeppo would be a very cool interaction. But if you're stuck with like, okay, 6 Dawn, slam down X-Drake to attack into their board, if that's your play, you're probably in a rough spot, right? You're probably actually in a pretty rough spot. So yeah. But that's really all I have to say as far as like how the deck functions and like what I hope for the future for this deck. I just want to see more sword stuff, like the lower cost stuff where I have stuff to do on turn and attack or on play and attack into their board. Like Hibari here, here's another thing I came across. Let me say this as well. One thing I noticed is like Hibari didn't always get the value I wanted from it, because there were times where it's like I can just play it out, but there's nothing to attack into. And that's where I think we need more interactions like with Aramaki and Kuzan or whatever to attack into active characters. Because a really solid play we can do on curve is like, okay, turn 1, going second, turn 1 brand new, turn 2 Kuzan, turn 3, play out the Hibari to -2,000 to a character or whatever, and then Kuzan attack into a character, make it where Hibari can attack active, Hibari attacks in, making it where your leader can attack active, and now we have something going on. Right? So I would like to see more interactions like that in the future, hopefully. And like I said, I'd really like to see a really strong 3-cost sword play, not Borsellino. Because remember, Borsellino is a blocker. Yes, the card is fine, but we want to establish some tempo, right? We want to establish some tempo. But again, in the future, I'm hoping they give us some more sword support for Koby. That's like probably in the 3 to 6 cost range. In the 3 to 6 cost range, or I guess as high as 8 cost is fine as well. Maybe even in the future have like an 8-cost 7,000 power character Koby that's, you know, can attack into active or something, so we can use it with Helmeppo or just playing it out on curve, and then we can protect it with the leader Koby. But they might not want you to be able to protect Koby with the leader. I have no idea. Who knows? Because you can protect this Koby. We'll have to see. All right, that's it, guys. I'm kind of just rambling at this point. What do y'all think? Tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. Big fan of this leader and this list with the sword. You know, trying it out with the sword package, because before when I tried out Koby, I was trying like pretty much a straight up Navy package, and it worked. It was fine. It was like a hybrid Navy package. I think I was still running the Helmeppo and Koby combo, but I was trying more of like the standard removal stuff, like with 6-cost Sakazuki, 4-cost blocker Borsellino, 4-cost the other 4-cost Kuzan that has on play draw a card and cost reduction when attacking, you know, that kind of thing. And it was fine. Again, I'll try to link that in the comment section below. It was fine, but at the same time, it's not really what this leader was intended for, right? This was intended to have like a very hybrid red-black Rush Navy package, and it feels pretty cool. It's a pretty solid list. I'll be sure to mess with it more in the future, especially if it gets more support, but I'm sure I'll be messing around with this leader randomly, you know, in the future. All right, that's it. I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Let's get the outro page on here. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, but y'all please be nice. Which version of Koby do y'all prefer? Do y'all like the more hybrid version where we have KO built in, or do you like the sword package? You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, I'm done. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're supporting me through donations on Patreon or PayPal, the Playmat supporters, YouTube members, Discord community. Thank you guys so much for all the support. This community has been incredible. Really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you guys so much. I'm done. Till next time. Peace.